Howdy folks, how we going? Welcome to the brewery. Brew day. This fella, Black Rock, bag in a box. We're doing the IPA today, and I'm just doing this really simple. I've tossed up over and over. I've been going around my head about how am I going to do this one? What am I going to do? Am I going to split it? Am I going to do some strong, some normal? We're going to hop it two different ways. What am I going to do? And the reality is, soon I've got a lot of extract brews to get through, and as we know, now I've only got the one fridge, so I want to get 2 brews in there to go as much as I can. So that means I'm going to do this fella just straight up, one fermenter, and I'm going to do another brew after this one on a different video, so I can get them both in the fridge. So I'm going to do this one straight up. So there we go. I know we've done 2 of these already. We've done the pale ale and the hazy, both of which are still on tap in the bar. So let's have a quick look at this. Okay, you get your little book which shows you your step-by-step instructions, and also has on the back here, a couple of different options for changing up your volume and getting your ABV and your IBUs. So it's designed to be 23 litre base. That's what the kit's designed at. So 23 litres, this brew should get us about a 5.8% ABV and 38 IBU. So that's, fairly, middle of the road as far as an IPA goes. It's not a big IPA, but it's not a tiny IPA. They recommend dry hopping. On here it says, for classic West Coast IPA, one or a combination of Centennial, Cascade, Mosaic, Amarillo, Chinook, Simcoe, and Citra. With what I've got in the fridge at the moment, I'm going to dry hop with some of those. I don't exactly want at the moment. I've got to sit down and actually work it out. So I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to leave you a bit of suspense, and we'll have a look at that on tasting day. But for now, I'm going to go for the. I'm tempted to go 25 litres and brew a bit more sessionable. Actually, let's do that. Let's do 25 litres. So that'll get us 5.3% ABV or thereabouts, like in the keg, and 35 IBU. I have found that the first 2 kits, for me, have seemed just a little bit heavy on the malt, and I had thought that maybe bringing the volume up a little bit could counteract that. I had thought about bringing the volume up and adding a little bit of dextrose just to adjust the alcohol back up to where it's intended to be, whilst also sort of getting a little bit of that malt heaviness out of it. No, I'm happy. I'm happy with 5.3. We'll get a gravity reading at the end, because I've got a funny for that 5.3 may be referring to after bottle carbonation. I'm trying to think after the first 2. I'm pretty sure the first 2 hit the target. Anyway, let's get on with it. So first thing I'm going to do, 1 jug, 1 kettle of boiling water into the fermenter. Standard, standard extract. That's just to help us get started and everything mixed up all right. We get our bag in box, out of the box. So it's no longer a bag in the box, now a bag out of the box, and turn the tap off. Lucky I didn't put fucking another litre of water in there. I would have gone all over me bloody heavily protected feet. Alright. You pop a cap off here. Nice and easy. And pour it in. Yeah, the first few batches of these, I've just poured this in and then I've just sort of squeezed the bag out to get the stuff out. I have been seeing a few people where they've actually rinsed the bag. So I'm going to do that today. It probably will get a little bit more out than just the squeeze will. But this stuff's not particularly thick. It's not gluggy and going to really grip on, but won't hurt. And I've conveniently got a couple of 100 ml of water here, which is left in the jug that I've got to do my boil with. Now, this water's been filtered. I'm running all my brewery water now through one of the caravan water filters that you get from Bunnings. And I'm getting nice clean water straight out of it, so I'm not bothering too much with my sodium met or ascorbic acid for the chlorine removal. I'm happy to just go with what I'm getting out of that filter, especially for the get brews. Right, we've got that a little bit of a rinse. And we'll still give it a squeeze because, I don't know, little John can't help himself, he's got to squeeze the bag. Anyway, that's done. Out of the way. Down there. We'll give that a bit of a stir. Now I'm going to go and get my hose and fill this up to 25 litres. This is just coming from the backyard tap, but I am running, food grade water hose. It's not just a normal bloody old garden hose. I'm making sure I'm not getting the nasty flavours. And this is just until I get the water in here properly. That'll take a little bit. That's not real fast. It's going to run under 3 litres a minute. I've got a 2-stage filter for in here in the brewery when it gets connected. I'm happy enough with that. That's going to get that's going to get all the nasties out, the chlorine and flavours. I don't want to necessarily strip all the minerals out and go back to scratch. Probably could have, but the reality is, I think, I'm still doing a whack and keep brews for extravaganza and this sort of stuff, where it's easier to not have to modify the water. This filter, or even the 2-stage, is going to get me plenty enough filtration. And realistically, probably with 2-stage, I probably should still be putting some minerals back into this because it will take a fair bit out. But certainly not going to get us back to 0 or pretty close to 0 like a 5-stage or a RO would. A bit of a splash around while we go. That works all right. Just run off the bloody. Flash it off the handle. Whatever makes life a bit easier. Now, I think if you want to see this done a bit stronger, I'm pretty sure that Shari Brew Crew has done the IPA, I think at the 18 or maybe the 20 litre mark. So they've done it a bit stronger getting it sort of more into double IPA sort of territory. So could be worth popping out there and having a bit of a look. I can't remember for sure exactly what they did with it. I know what I'm talking about, they may have changed their mind in the end. Like I said, that water's come up nice and clean now. Well, that's pretty good for a simple filtration. Now, obviously, it's still got, you can still taste there's some minerals and whatnot in there, but it's certainly got rid of that the chlorine that I do have around here, and I've got pretty solid chlorine going on. Right, that's 25 litres. Yeah, I know you're thinking, hang on, there's no headspace in there, little John. You're going to make a mess. No, I'm going to put this into one of my 20 litre fermented junior, so I'm not going to ferment all of this. If you can get around there in the next sort of 8 minutes, you can have the, about the 9 litres that's going to be left over. And it's got the better of me. I'm going to put some dextrose in. I'm going to bring that bloody ABV back up. Just because, hey, why not? There we go. 413. Go for 200 grams. Yeah, beautiful. So I don't know if that's going to get me right back up to the same point, but it will get me a little bit extra. We'll get this mixed and we'll have a gravity sample. See where we're starting at. Yeah. Kit comes with USA 5. I'm going to ferment the USA 5. There's one pack there, which I'm not real confident is enough to do the job. I will find a little bit more USA 5 and add to that. Again, I want to get this bloody. I want a gram a litre, certainly this bloody level. So let's clear the tap. Try not to drop me glass. That's the colour, so what's our mix? So this is 89% ale malt, 6% wheat, 3% toffee and 2% light crystal. So that's your we'll call that, that's sitting about 1050, maybe 1052. So we get 75%, it's going to get us down to about 12, 13, just about 10, 13 somewhere. So that's 52, that's 39, 4952. Yeah, so that's still only about 5.2% ABV. So you definitely need that. That's allowing for your carving in the bottle to get there. So we're only going to get around that 5.3. Anyway, so lucky I put the extra 200 in, but we'll go with that. Okay. There's a nice little bit of hot flavour in there. It's not a lot. Obviously, it's a lot of 48 sugar. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to need some extras in there. I think I'm saying it's going to be fairly, it would be fairly light. Look, I am tempted just to let it brew, and just see what it looks like. But for now, I'm going to get this in the fermenter. You don't need to see that. I said USA 5, 19 degrees. This will ferment for about 2 weeks. Go in the bottles. We'll be looking at it in about a month's time, 5 weeks. We'll be getting some tasters. So, yeah, comments down below. If you're watching and you get on the Facebook page, I've had to change my account details. There's a new link. So if you go into the old Little Johns, you'll find there's a link in there, linking to the new page where we're going from. Facebook have done me a fucking nasty and won't recognise my old passwords and emails for my account, so I can't actually access it anymore. The Facebook page and the group now got new names, so check it out. Anyway, you got any comments, questions on this fella? Stick them down the bottom. Patrons of the channel, thank you for your support. If you're interested, there's a link down the bottom. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you are subscribed, thank you very much. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. But for now, this fella's going in the fermenter. I'm going to ferment it. I'm Little John. So let's see you in the next video. We were brewing beer, drinking beer, talking beer. Good brewing. Cheers.